Alright guys, welcome back to Dogland. Welcome back to Planet Coaster here with Doc. And yeah, here we go. Last time we started working on another Main Street building here. It's a typical Victorian building. Kind of not 100% Victorian, it's kind of a bit of a mix. We actually have a building like that here in my city in Karlsruhe, very similar. It is a former area city hall building, which is now used for weddings and some other, city council is using it now, or some other offices of the city services. I think by now the it is the headquarters of the public transportation or some bus company or something like that. So yeah, it's a very typical shape though. You see many of the let's say Victorian style buildings with this layout. So it's nothing unique in that sense, but making it in the game was really typical. Many of these buildings have a main tower and then some side towers or buildings, side wings, and often they have an interesting roof line with a steep roof like that. And I tried to spice it up here a little bit by adding another balcony here on the backside, and in general keeping a high level of detail, but also clean. For example, this window line here is very typical, very clean, and symmetrical pretty much. And then break everything up with this interesting roof line, and the highlight up there we look in a second, the roof garden I was talking about. I'm very proud about that. It turned out great. But here, what I really like, that is a new thing I used for woodwork. It's like these building pieces here. Those are the veranda roofs. Those little things. And by combining 4 of them for each segment here, I created this very nice detailing going all around the building. And I think that turned out really great. Just adds a little bit special to the build. And also this pattern continues here in our custom made balcony railing, which was quite challenging to do because that's one thing I have to say. The balcony and railing pieces in the game are quite limited. Like, you have one that goes around the corner, you have one that goes around in a bit of a 30-degree angle or so, and you have straight pieces, but the straight pieces are a bit too long, and you cannot really use the in-game railing pieces for shorter, shorter distances like that. It will stick out. Or some balconies that are a bit shorter have railings going backwards, and then it always looks not right because, it's just not clean. So you often have to make your own railings, and there's not too many really small pieces. So, there could be some more, definitely. But I like how this turned out. Really nice detailing here as well, again using these pieces I used around here. And heavy doors, with some wood carving. I think that works out really nice. In general, the color theme is also good. I changed, like, this is not fully white, you can barely see it. It goes more into the pinkish color, but with the lighting here in the game and so on, you can't really see it, but it just looks a bit more weathered and used and not that bright. Before it was really in your face. We have a little clock here, and that little side tower there as well. Really, really like how that turned out. It's a pretty good build, I have to say. Up here on the roof there is the highlight of the build a bit, and if I look at it, I really, really want to sit up there, man. Like literally sit on this roof garden and chill in the sun. It's so inviting. I mean, I made a bunch of custom pieces for that. I imagine here maybe you could also hire some rooms in the park, so it's also working as a hotel building a little bit, but more on the upscale side. So if you want to do something really special, you pay a lot of money and then you get a nice suite up there. to be in the middle of the park, but can still have some privacy up here. So this is actually used and not only decorative in my, fantasy world here. So yeah, and that is actually this nice little sunroof where we made these custom sunbeds, little custom table, and what I really like, and that turned out great in my book, this parasol here, little umbrella to protect yourself from the sun. And I've been using those little new pieces with the winter update. It's like these Christmas stars, and colored them a bit differently, and I think it turned out really great. It really stands out. I imagine this as a more artistic piece. It is a parasol, but it's also like it's almost a Tiffany-like thing, and I imagine it would not be, made out of cloth. Also, it would be more like metal or something, and some glass pieces to it maybe, or something like that. So more of a stable thing. You won't use it like a parasol and then fold it down or something like that. But I've seen things like that, and it looks really cool up here. I think very cozy and inviting, a nice shade, and if you have the sun glaring down like that, you really wish, oh man, I want to chill on this bed and have a little drink. There is some flower arrangement and things, so to make it a bit more fancy, and really digging that. I have a chimney here. I think it is a good positioning for the chimney, but then later I thought, okay, if the chimney is rocking and you sit there, it's probably not that nice, but in the winter time you probably also wouldn't sit up here if you have to use the chimney. So that's that. We can get away with it. Here is the little pieces I made. So this is, for example, the sunbed. This is made from all kinds of different objects. It's a Western Wall sign, and those are like Western sign standing signs, and then we use these little individual pieces you can have in the game, and then just colored them, and made the bedding for it, or the cushion, and here there's also a little headrest, and wanted to make these things look modern and expensive. That was kind of the idea with it, and I think that worked out really well. Of course, it's not perfect, you see some stuff sticking out from below, but if you use it as a scenery piece like that, it's not, you can't really see it at all. So that works out really well. Here's the little table. It's just a little window flipped around, and then using some of these ironwork pieces to make some legs. That is the umbrella here. Turned out really great in my book. It's all angled by 15 degrees and then just stitched together, copied, rotated, and so on, and it made this little work of art here. I love it a lot. It's turned out really great. And then I also have this little bench here. I mean, that was just a logical thing after I made the umbrella and the sunbeds, and was like, that's quite obvious that you can make something like that as well. This is tracks, railway track wooden pieces there, two stacked together and one, and then just using this for the legs and this for the armrests. And I used that little bench somewhere in here. There you can see it. It's a little scenery piece. Obviously you can't use it. And I also have the guards in here, patrolling. I think that just goes well with the general look of the building, and the time period matches really well. And I wanted to have some action going on there. It definitely needs a little bit more detailing, put some items here and there. But we also have nice gardens in front of it, little flower arrangements, with some details here. This is a little bathtub with some flowers in there. We have our shops, just a memento, and the balloon shop. Here's an ATM that gets used a lot, and here I actually integrated a toilet, as we last time, remember, followed this woman frantically looking for a toilet. And yeah, we got one there now too. So that is cool. At the moment we have 2,700 and something people in the park. And if you're looking from an eagle eyes perspective, if you're looking down, you can see a nice spread of people. The only area that is maybe a little bit packed, but nowhere close to what we had going on, is here. And I think it's cool. It flows nicely here. The shops here are working, although, which is actually really stupid. Like now, as I introduced these new shops up front here, now look, here, just a memento, not many people here, and I had this shop closing down here and there. So you really ask yourself, what are you telling me, game? You're telling me we need more shops because everybody was constantly on about, buying presents and stuff. And now you see the whole thing like, oh, I need a head and I can't get one, is gone. Now it's pretty much just queues for people that are full, but I guess that's all right. But now I had this shop closing down 1 or 2 times. Now it seems he's doing some business. It is super annoying. And what happens if a shop closes down? Actually your stuff gets fired, which is quite dumb. Alright. Yeah, I need to upgrade. Yeah, those are I had level 5 vendors here. Shop gets closed down, guy gets fired. When you reopen it, he's gone. And I'm not too happy about that. Workload seems normal high at this place. Where is this? It's the balloon shop. Okay. That's the balloon shop. He's doing business. So yeah, I had this shop closing down now. It hasn't happened for a while, and I hope it stays like that. What I also did is some more naturizing here. This is some stuff filler stuff I do on the side. And now we have actually the whole coastline here finished. And yeah, I think that is alright. I don't want to build a wall here. I was thinking about it. Do we need a whole wall around the park? But pretty much here nobody can come into the park. And, if they want to swim, okay. But I guess that's fine. Using some rock work here, to make it look a bit natural. Not want to overdo it with the trees. It's a fine line you walk on. Trees always look kind of good, but if you go too much with trees, I find it's just the lazy way of filling in scenery with too many trees. In amusement parks there is trees, but it's not like they have this whole freaking forest in a park. Space is too expensive and too precious just to have a forest there. So yeah, I'm trying to find a good mix. What I'm sometimes struggling with, but I think it's getting there, is making these flower beds and flower arrangement. I tried some stuff out here, and now on a second glimpse I kind of like it. I used some different colored flowers pretty much, trying to make something happen. But yeah, that is something I really have to practice more, to kind of get more of a cohesive thing. I'm sometimes not brave enough, I feel, really spamming those flowers in there. But as of now I think it looks good and still pretty natural. But in amusement parks often more strict and fixed flower arrangements are used, so we have to think about that a little bit. Added some more leafage on the roofs here, and I think we have a good compromise now. Here I need to do some gardening, but I have to look at some flower arrangements first and see if I can get some inspiration. So that is what I've been doing so far. So what is the plan for today? I'm thinking we should finally work on our spooky tunnel here. And also, keep the game running most of the time while we play, to see if any shops close down and if you get any more congestions. But I'm pretty sure we successfully improved the crowd control in the park here with these shops. That is good. One thing that came to my mind, if I look at this building now, one of the very first we made, and compare it to the rest of the park, I feel this needs a little bit of an overhaul. It's a bit plain. It's still good, but plain, and I maybe add some more woodwork or something to it. I have to think about it, redo it a bit. I feel I can do a little bit better. But yeah, let's rather focus on making actual new stuff, and I want to work on the spooky tunnel. Alright, started to work on it here a little bit inside the tunnel. And first thing I wanted to do is have this skull, this spooky skull, sitting there in a puddle of dirty water, some thorny bushes and ragged terrain, fire burning. We have some light effects there to give it this reddish glow, and I think that works out pretty well. So far, it doesn't look like people are much spooked out by it. What I wanted to add to top it off is now go to ambience and get some mist in there. Say, add that down here and there. Now let's see how that flows. Yeah, that is working. Smoke burst. Maybe we can have another little bit of mist right in front here. See how that comes together, and when the smoke dissipates a bit. Yeah, I imagine, some digging and excavation was done, and then they came across this crazy skull here, and we're like, whoa, okay, what is that? And it's bubbling, and I think that looks pretty spooky already. I wish we had some cobwebs. Cobwebs would be really neat. But I think that is a pretty nice first scenery piece here. It definitely adds to the atmosphere. I think it works out well. It's pretty difficult to work in here. I mean, you don't have too much space. You gotta be careful not to break out in our valley, just pretty much right there. But looks like we're okay. Not really breaking out here. No. So that's good. And it's also, it's quite tedious to place stuff in here because you cannot really see. You're really close like that. And you often pop out through the ceiling. If you go back too much, you end up popping out of the tunnel. But yeah, like that. See? But I think that works. I have a collection of all kinds of spooky building pieces here that might work out for us. Those trees, I thought maybe I could use the Kraken monster as some sort of piece in there, but it's just too big. It doesn't really work. But stuff like that. This hanging skeleton, let's grab it and see if we can have it somewhere in there. And just, have different scenery pieces here and there. Like that. Have that thing here in the corner like so. I think that works out pretty well. Yeah. That's some good stuff. Then spook it up a bit as good as we can, and get a bunch of little scenery pieces in there, so when you walk through, there's some points of interest. I think those skull lamps in general would also do well in there. Let's grab one of these, get back in it. We'll light the place up more, I guess, but fits with our theme here. So if you have those spread around through the tunnel, they go pretty well. There's not too many really spooky pieces. I wish there were more. Especially, I would like some cobweb. Cobweb would be cool too. Good use for many things, Say we have one of those here. Spread these lamps out a little bit. Maybe get another one on the other side. Bit offset. Like that. Spooky. And we popped out of the tunnel again. Oh my god. Where are we with the camera? Yeah, it's quite tedious, I have to say. The camera control kind of reaches its limit. I wish you could turn on clipping with the camera. That would be a nice thing. Yeah, maybe have that thing integrated like this here. Light up the scenery piece a bit. Yeah, that works out. And maybe we can work with a little bit of a light effect here. So let's come in for our terraforming tool and dig out a little ditch here like this maybe a little bit more. And also, can we get some water in there already? It's a bit too small. Okay, so we have to go a bit deeper, I suppose. Make that bigger in general. That is good enough for some water. Yes, works. Okay, and then maybe we work with some rocks, scenery. Let's get some ambient lights going. This here. Yeah. Okay, and then give it some red glow. Maybe turn it up a little bit. Like that. You know, just small effects. And then add everything that helps to get things in a kind of spooky way. This guy's hanging there. Maybe we can use another one to stick it further back into the rock and just expose the skeleton a bit. See if that kind of works. Maybe twist it a little bit more. Like that. Okay. Yeah, that seems pretty decent. Then we come in with some thorny bushes and mist and stuff and then make it work. See, bushes, nature. Now these bushes here work really well for that. Dried out, spooky stuff. Put some here and then exit and turn it a bit. Have it poke out here a tiny bit. Like so. Yeah, that gives it already this bit of a spooky feel, and then we come in again with our special effects, ambiance, and take a bit of mist. Have that sitting in here. And then maybe use some of the thorny stuff here again, like those guys. Integrate that here too. Poke out a bit like that. Change the angle. It's like painting a picture pretty much. A bit further down and maybe in. Then also have one here. Rotate it out a bit. Yeah. Then we need some stuff here, so maybe use one of those guys. Get that in here. Something like that. I think that works, yeah. Of course we have to move this lamppost a little bit. Oh, that was not the post. You. No, I want you. You lamppost. Hello. You. No, no, no. Please let me select it here. Here we go. Okay, let's move that up a bit and put it here. And then maybe come in with some rocks. Let's see. Do some rock work around it. Blend it in a bit nicer. this piece here. Okay, yeah, we're getting somewhere. It's coming together. Now we need a little bit of smaller pieces up front here. Break that up a bit, and we get this, spooky little crevice. I like it. Good stuff. Let's get some of the bushes. Maybe this guy, and then use a bit of this dude. Yeah, and we get another neat little scenario piece here. Also have to do some work on the ceiling, have more of these bushes there and some rocks in general. But this is kind of the direction we're headed here, and I think that is working out. So we just need a bunch of these scenery pieces here and there, maybe 2-3 more, and then kind of blend it all together in that theme. And then we end up with this pretty spooky, cool, interesting tunnel. Nice. Haha. Alrighty, I've been working on this a little bit. Let's see if you can watch it from the perspective of this person. Give me the first person camera. Okay, so we're coming through here. Get the witch set up on the one side. I definitely need to do more on the ceiling. Blend it in a bit, but it's quite time consuming and tedious to work in here. But I think we get that spooky flair. There's a lot of mist here. We have the little skeleton set up. You know, and then oof, the skull. Ooh, what is that? And you keep on walking through here. I wish it would be a bit darker, but you know, guess we have to live with it. And then we're moving along. And I wish you could control a person, you know, literally take him over and walk through the park. It's a bit random, but you can look around here. We get another skeleton thing. Yeah, general, I think that is going totally in the right direction here. Lots of these trees, and you know, just using these witch trees, kind of flip them around. I don't like the faces too much, but I like the moldy robes hanging from him, and I think we're getting somewhere. Yeah, so here I made this little witch scenario piece with her cauldron, and you know, being in this mist, and she's firing off all kinds of spells, so that is cool. Here we got the skull you've seen already, and yeah, here we got this little skeleton setup, and here we got another little scenery piece. I like how, you know, this thorny branch comes poking through here, and there's some thorny bushes kind of overgrowing it a little bit. And yeah, here's some more of the trees and stuff. So yeah, it's definitely needing some more work, but that is the direction we're headed here. And I want to do one more thing though. If you look at our park management, pretty much, yeah, Coaster 9 is full. The queue for Victory 1. What is that? What is Victory 1? Ah, this. Okay, I wonder if we can somehow integrate some fast passes. How is the queue for Victory 1 full? I don't really see that. I mean, we have a lot of space in here. Shouldn't be that much of an issue. I mean, people come up here, they have a bunch of queue time. Not too many people complain about it. I mean, right now that seems to be alright. The prestige is a bit lower because it's a bit of an older ride, but eventually the prestige will also rise again. But yeah, okay, I mean, people try to queue up here. It's not the longest queue, but still, it's not the most, you know, popular ride in the park. And I was thinking this queue would definitely be enough. I mean, a bunch of people come here. Yeah, we're still riding there. Let's see how long the ride takes. And if the queue fills up, it pretty much does. I made the queue pretty much as long as, pretty much it empties, you know, when people get on the ride. So let's see. They fit in. Did they? Ah, okay. They just thought the queue was full, although it was not really full. I mean, maybe it was too big of a group. Yeah, those guys turned away now. They wanted to go on it. Yeah, it's kind of filling up, and then they get out. Maybe we need to shorten the ride a bit. Sequence, yeah, that's the sequence pretty much. Ah, well. Think for this one it's not that bad. Most people are complaining about this being full. I mean, that is in a very prominent spot. People are coming in, and then they can't get in there. That's Coaster 9. Magic Whirl. That is this guy here. Yeah, it's also not the longest queue. I don't think we can do much about those. This queue here is definitely long enough, right? Yeah, I mean... And it's also efficient, because we got 2 carts running there. How about adding another cart maybe to this guy here? Let's check it out. Let's close that down real quick. And let's see. Yeah, can we... We can actually run 2 trains in there, no problem. That should help it a lot. Let's run a test with 2 trains. See if we can optimize that a little bit. Okay, is the test happening? Where's the other train then? Oh yeah, okay, we got a long enough station. What are those people doing there? Get out of here. We want to test. Speed up the time a bit. I think by using 2 trains we can... Because the queue here is relatively long. I mean, you know, you have all this going all the way through here. So if you run 2 carts in it, I think we can A, increase the money we're making, and B, maybe get rid of these complaints people have about it. You can definitely haul more people. Okay, let's open it and see if the queue gets too full. I wouldn't think so, right? I mean, now with the 2 carts, a lot of people want to get in here already. Now the queue was full. Let's see it in operation for a little while. If it gets better, we should definitely be able to service more people now. Pretty much double the output of it. Yeah, some people are turning away, but we definitely have a better throughput now with the 2 carts going, right? Yeah, there we go. It's long trains as well. A bunch of people fit in there. Okay. Yeah, but still... Yeah, it's just in a very prominent spot and a lot of people want to ride it. I wonder, it's such a simple coaster. Very short ride as well. So we should be able to serve a lot of people here. Let's see if we can get this number down a little bit. But it seems to be relatively stable around the 25% mark. There, 26, 27. I might have to do something about this queue. For future rides, we definitely need to consider fast passes. I mean, for this thing here, we definitely need fast passes. I mean, a lot of people are also not able to get in here, so we need to make a long queue here and make it really nice. That's just a learning experience we're having here. Yeah, I mean, let's see. Now it's even higher, although we serve more people. That doesn't make no sense to me. Everybody wants to get on it. Yeah, we got 2 trains serving the thing. I mean, could be also because, let's see, when does this train start? People are getting out. This one is sitting there in the back already. Yeah, it's pretty much, you know, one does the ride. People are leaving. Takes them a while to get off. That is some of the flaws we had here with our with the placement of our exit. People have to walk around quite for a bit to get out, actually. But I mean, you know, they leave, train arrives, next people get in, train goes off. I think it's pretty smooth how it operates now. But yeah, we can't keep up with the demand. Like, everybody wants to get on this ride. So I think there's for now not much we can do about other than giving the people more attractions to ride and give some more alternatives. Then there will be more people again. So it will probably always be a little bit of a problem. One of the small negative points here. I mean, it seems to hover around the 30% mark. Still, the overall guest happiness is really great, and they love the scenery. The only thing is, yeah, queue was full, but I guess, you know, that is, it's almost impossible to get fully rid of that. Well, in any case, guys, I am done for today. I have to do some more Christmas stuff, prepare for the holiday season, but I still will do a live stream later today, so come by, check it out when this video is out and you're watching it. Check over at Twitch TV/DocM77Live. We might be at it, maybe working on the tunnel here a little bit or do some other stuff. And with that said, see you next time. I'm out. Bye bye, guys. And if you don't see each other again until Christmas, yeah, enjoy the holiday season. Merry Christmas.